Bam, there we go.
All right.
Dude, Russell, thank you for being on. Do you like to be called Russ since it's Russ on Wheels and that's what everybody knows you by?
Yeah, yeah. That's fine, dude. I don't prefer one over the other. Russell, Russ on wheels, whatever.
Whatever works, man. Well, I
Yeah,
know I've heard your story quite a few times, but for everybody, just let them know kind of your background as to like the accident, all the stuff leading up to it
yeah.
and everything that happened.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. My name's Russell Burke. I was hurt actually almost 8 years ago. It'll be 8 years, May 26th of 2013. Was when I got hurt. I was out in Lake Havasu. I dove out the back of a boat and I hit the bottom of the river, broke my C4, C5 vertebrae in my neck, and was instantly paralyzed from the neck down. Um, After I dove off the boat, when I dove off, I dove in the water. I hit the bottom and my neck went backwards. And I swear, I like to this day, like that sound of my neck breaking is probably the loudest sound I've ever heard. I was like, damn. I was like, what the hell was that? And my body numb, and I'm floating face down in the water. And I'm like thinking, shit, what the hell? What's going on? Can't move my arms, can't move my legs. And I'm like thinking, oh man, what am I gonna do? So I'm over here floating in the water, and what felt like an eternity was probably a minute to 2 minutes, like 2 minutes at maybe the most. But it was getting to the point where like I was running out of air. I was like thinking to myself, well, shit, don't suck in any water. If you suck in some water, your body's gonna sink, and then you'll never be found. You'll drown and die. So, anyways, I'm floating there, and my girlfriend at the time grabs me by the shorts, and she's like, "Russ, quit fucking around." I'm like, "I'm not messing around, man. I can't move." So, they pull me up on shore on my back, and call 911, all that stuff. They finally get there, and get me on the backboard, get me on a gurney, load me up into the ambulance, and take me down to Needles Hospital. And then when I got the needles, they're like, man, we can't do nothing for this guy. He's gotta go to a trauma one hospital. And so they put me in a helicopter and flew me out to Vegas, to UMC in Vegas. And I spent 6 weeks in Vegas in ICU out there, uh, pretty much sedated the whole time. I remember bits and pieces here and there. Um, and So I spent 6 weeks there. A bunch of people came and visited me. Shit, I don't even remember. I don't remember who came. It was kind of weird. Like I only met, like I said, I don't remember bits and pieces of it. So I stayed there 6 weeks. Go. My family finds me a good rehab center, and I fly out to Colorado to Craig Hospital. It's like one of the top 10 spinal cord injury hospitals in the world. So I go out there, spent 3 months out there, and after 3 months of doing, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, all that, I was doing all that. I come home, and when I come home is when reality kicks in. Because I'm not busy every day from 8 to 5 every day doing all my therapy. It's just me and a nurse, and I'm like, shit, the hell? Why this happened to me? Why me? Why pick me? I can't do shit. My life sucks now. Life's over. What am I gonna do? I was thinking I can't do nothing with my kids. I can't coach their soccer anymore. Shit like that. And it was like right my deepest, darkest days. And after laying in bed for 3 months, pissed off at the world and all that, I was like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. That wasn't me. I was always the class clown, the guy cracking jokes. The freaking guy having fun. And here I am having a pity party for myself, laying in bed, staring at the ceiling. And dude, it wasn't me. So my family had gotten a hold of a nonprofit, a spinal cord nonprofit foundation out in my area called Triumph Foundation, and the owner, the founder actually, Andrew, came out to my house with another guy, Mark, and I like to this day, it's like it feels like yesterday, but like they rolled into my room and they're like, bro, you know, life's still good, life's awesome still. You could do all this shit still, and I'm like, man, what are you guys talking about, you know? But after they left, I was like, shit, you know what? They're probably right, you know. Those guys can roll into my room and they're smiling and having fun. I'm over here freaking laying in bed crying and wanting to off myself. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna do what they say. You know, they're like, come out to our support groups, freaking come out to we have an annual wheelchair sports festival. I went out to that and I'm like, holy shit, dude! There's a whole nother world of like of wheelchair people out there that I never thought of. And I'm seeing these guys out there playing hockey, playing baseball, riding wheelchair, or playing wheelchair murder ball and all this stuff. And I'm like, shit, there is a world out there. So after those guys came by and I checked out all the shit, I was like, damn, you know what? I'm gonna start getting up and going out and start going to these meetings and stuff like that. And I was like, damn, this is awesome. Maybe life isn't gonna be that bad, which was cool. Because like when you're an able body and you put 2 feet up on the ground and you walk out your door every day, you don't really see that many people out in wheelchairs, I mean, you might see one here and there, but it's like, wow, when you go out to an event and all you see are freaking hundreds of people in wheelchairs, you're like, damn, this is rad, and I thought it was cool. So, I started doing more with that foundation. And after a while, it led me to accept, my new life, So I was like, damn, that's cool. I'm having fun, dude. I've gone snow skiing with them. I've shot guns with them. I've played all these sports that I never knew I could do, And like I said, once I accepted it, life turned around, and it was like, shit, dude, I can live a good life, and to this day is like, that's what I make it, dude. I make the best of every day, and that's what we have to do in life, dude. We have to play the cards that we are dealt, whether it be a bitching hand or a shitty hand. No matter what, we got to play them. We got to play them. We got to accept whatever it is life throws at us. So, since
Yeah,
then,
and I mean for real, it's such an impactful story to hear. I think what makes it impactful for me, like when I look at it, and like, because I followed you for a long time, I've been a
yeah,
fan. So when you
that's
said you wanted
awesome.
to be on,
Thank
like
you.
you would come on the podcast, I'm like, I came home and told my wife, I was like, dude, Russ on Wheels is going to be on the podcast. She
Man,
goes,
that's awesome.
who's that? I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is so amazing. So, but what's so impactful for me, where like you're this kind of like bright and shining light of energy, like this positive
Thank
thing.
you.
And when you're telling your story, the guy that's in the room, like that foundation really stuck out to me. And I want to kind of plug them and tag them if you're okay with the
Yeah.
show notes and
Oh,
stuff.
100%. Yes, 100%.
But that guy being in the room, and I automatically went to parallels between him being in the room and what you do for everybody else by public speaking and your social media and
Right.
telling your story, that you give people inspiration to be better no matter what position they're in, whether they have 2 feet or don't have 2 feet. Like no matter what, you're giving them that inspiration. And that guy in the corner, in your deepest, darkest time, you had somebody that showed up there to help you mentally get over this gigantic hurdle.
Right. And it's crazy because like when you're in the hospital or you're in your rehab or wherever you're at, you just walking in, you got your nurses, that are walking in, and they're like, obviously, they're trying to be positive for yourself, and they're like, oh, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna do this. You're like, dude, shut the hell up, man, get the hell out of here. But when someone comes in your same situation, and he rolls in my room in a wheelchair, and he rolls in with another guy that's on a ventilator, and that's a quad just like me, and they're saying, bro, life's gonna be good, dude. I promise you. You're gonna get through this. And you know what? you will get through this. And I'm like, fuck, you know what? These guys are right. You know, they're doing it. Why am I not doing it? Why am I laying in bed? Why am I laying here, you know, having a pity party, you know, feeling sorry for myself, you know? No, that's, you know, no, you can't do that, you know? And that's why I think I enjoy it so much, going out with the Triumph Foundation and speaking to like the newly injured. You know, I really enjoy going out there and telling the newly injured, hey, it will be okay. I promise you. If you accept this injury, you will be 110% a okay. And it's what you make of it. So if you want to make the best of it, it'll be good. If you want it to be shitty, it'll be shitty. It's up to you, you know. So
I think that's some words of advice we can all use, and that you said something super like it goes with everything. And people, I like to get people to understand, because no matter where you're at in life, like sometimes you can feel like you're the only person going through the situation, or
yes,
whatever's piling on you. And when you said like you see them in the same situation, they're like, dude, it's okay. Trust me, you're
right,
gonna go through some ups, and they know they can relate to you. And you're like, I'm
yeah,
not alone. I'm not
a
alone.
hundred
Like you
percent.
saying you saw like hundreds of people in wheelchairs. And until you said it, I didn't really realize it, that you really don't see, like, as able-bodied person, you go to
No,
work, you go do your thing, you
yeah,
don't see a lot of wheelchair
uh huh,
people.
a
And so
hundred
you wouldn't
percent.
expect them to be there. But for you, you went in that, like, that's gotta be, I felt like, I'm like, man, all right, Russ, that's awesome. Like you get to see this big old crowd of people
Right.
of that's in wheelchairs just like you. And you're like, they're having fun, they're enjoying life.
Yes,
And that
they're
inspiration right
smiling,
there.
they're having fun. They're like, dude, this is awesome, you know. And it's a 2 day festival that like these you see these people that their lives, you know, people. There's people that been paralyzed for 30 plus years. That there's people that've been paralyzed, you know, a year, you know, and these ones, and you could always tell the new ones, but you know, once you go out there and you talk to these guys, they're like, you know, they're little shy at first, but you know, hey, come on, get in this wheelchair over here and, you know, play some rugby or do this or do that. You know, once they get in that chair, man, they're freaking smiling from ear to ear, you know, and it's rad, you know, because like you said, we don't know, like when you get injured like this, when something traumatic, whether it be you're in a wheelchair, whether you lose a limb or whatever, like we don't know what to expect, you know. Like you gotta go out there and make the best of it. And whatever it be, whether it be, you know, you're paralyzed, you lose a limb, you have ALS or anything like that, there's a support group for any of that stuff. And like, you know, the last thing you want to do when you first get hurt or diagnosed with something is go, oh yeah, let's go to this support group, whatever, blah blah blah. You know, I was like, I'm not going to that shit. Forget that. You know, but dude,
Yeah.
once I went, it's like, dude, it's life changing, dude. They're like these, it's people that are in your same situation that are just, you know, making the best of every day. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like that part. And you said like another thing that's curious to me is you said several times about accepting your, like you had to
right?
accept the injury, like
Yes,
accept it. What was it
exactly.
difficult to accept where you're at? Like becoming, this isn't something you were born with, so you didn't know any
Right,
different.
right.
You knew different for most of your life up and
Oh,
and then all of a sudden, bam, it's all changing in a moment.
100%. You know, like I look at like my situation. I didn't get hurt till I was 37. You know, I was 37 years old. I lived from, you know, I lived, I was an able body till 37 years old, you know. So, you know, I had my family already. I started, you know, I had my family. I was working, all that stuff. You know, I look at these kids that get hurt, you know, 15, 16, 17 years old. And I'm like, ooh, man, that's tough. But you know what? They'll still get through it. You know, they will. They will. Life will still roll on. You know, life's not going to stop just because we got put in a wheelchair or anything or whatever. You know, but accepting, you know, going back to what you said about accepting, did it take me a while? It took me, you know, for me, you know, I got hurt in May and came home October, and I think Andrew came to my house around December, January of either December 2013 or January of 2014. I can't remember, but it took me that long to accept it. I had to talk with him, and I had to go to these support groups. And finally, I told myself, like, life's not going to change from here. I better accept it, because if I don't accept it, I'm gonna I'm gonna be that pissed off guy. I'm gonna be that unhappy guy. I'm gonna be that guy laying in bed that doesn't want to see anyone. And that wasn't me. That totally was not me. And once I did it, it was, like I said, my life turned around. And it took me, what, 6 months, to accept it. And once I did, I was like, dude, this is rad. I'm still living a good life. I'm still getting up every day. I'm getting out there, and I'm doing things. I'm doing still. I can still do fun things, but I just do it a little different now. I might need a little assistance now, and that's okay. I can't do it by myself, so accept that and let someone help you. You're still gonna have fun.
What's the first thing you did when you fully came and accepted it? Do you remember that first feeling of when you're like going out and trying something exciting again? Because I know
Oh
you were involved in like dirt bike riding and all this cool stuff, and
yeah,
you've done a bunch of cool stuff that people follow you on Instagram. But like
right.
that first feeling back, like I'm just kind of putting myself in your shoes for a second
Yeah.
of like you think nothing's gonna happen, now you're accepting it, and you're
Hmm.
starting something that's like going to get back into doing things that you used to
Right.
do again.
So, I think the first thing I did, like, just by myself was like, I think I went up back out to like the dirt bike track and watched the buddies, ride the dirt bike track, which is cool. But like the really first thing that was like, uh, probably like awesome, gnarly, like I had to have someone help me do was snow skiing. And that dude, that because I used to love snowboarding, so just getting out there and hearing, the snow under the skis when I'm in this model ski going down a hill, I was like, dude, this is so rad. I might not be doing it by myself. There's a guy behind me holding me up, but dude, I'm telling him what to do, and let's do this or do that. And I'm like, dude, this is so rad. This is fun. This is awesome. I'm freaking smiling ear to ear, dude, and just freaking, bombing down these hills. I'm like, dude, just go straight down, dude, as fast as you can go. I'm just like, just bomb it, dude. Let's do it. And I want, like the funny part was like I wasn't even scared. Like I wasn't like, oh man, what happens if he crashes or something. I was just like, dude, this is so rad. Let's do it. You know?
It's wild to me that you talked about like you're skiing, you're snowboarding, you're doing dirt bike riding, and if people are thinking about your injury, they're going to be thinking, oh, he did it on a dirt bike track doing what he loves to do.
Right.
He did it on
100%.
this, going down the ski slopes, but you did this on something, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've heard you in other interviews where you weren't even really drinking and partying that much. You're just like having
No.
a good time, hanging out, and you just head first dive in, you
Yeah.
just clip the bottom.
Dude, we're playing horseshoes on the shore. It was Memorial Weekend, and it was freaking hot. So I'm like, dude, we got done playing, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna jump in real quick, and totally forgot that we were in shallow water. And when you're on a pontoon boat, you're already 2 feet above water. Before I dove in. So when I dove in, I was already 2 feet above the water. Probably was only maybe knee high, if that. So as soon as I dove in, hit the bottom, boom, my neck breaks, and I'm just like, whoa, you know. And I never thought in my whole life I'd be freaking paralyzed or quadriplegic, vent dependent, not able to move from the neck down. For fuck, I was always that guy. Like I should have done this doing freaking 130 miles an hour down the freeway on my crotch rocket or something, or freaking crashing on my dirt bike or doing something stupid, not thinking and jumping off the back of a boat, bro.
I mean, that's the way you want it to happen, right? You want to have the
Yeah,
epic story, right? Like I
yeah,
was
dude.
going 130 and I
Yeah,
smashed in this car and then I
yes,
survived, bro,
dude. I got a buddy of mine. he was doing 100 miles an hour on a street bike with his buddy on the back. They were drinking, and his buddy fell off the back. He lost control. He wrapped himself around the telephone pole, dude. And he's only paralyzed basically from the waist down. I'm like, damn, dude. And like his story's gnarly, dude. Like doing 100 miles plus on a street bike, lose control, wrap your body around a telephone pole, dude. And he should probably be like me, you know. But he's freaking pushing himself around. He's freaking transferring himself from his chair to his car, feeding himself, playing with his kid, coaching his kid's baseball team and all that. It's crazy. Like a spinal cord injury is crazy. It's I know another buddy of mine that has the exact same injury, and we actually got injured the exact same date, but he got injured. Shoot, I think it was like 15 years before me, and I got it. I got injured the same exact day he did, but in 2013, here 15 years later or whatever it was, and he can walk now. He was vent
Whoa.
dependent. He was paralyzed from the neck down, and he could walk. He's breathing on his own. He's walking and doing stuff himself. It's crazy. And we had pretty much the exact same injury. You know,
Wow. That's crazy. He
so it's
can
not
walk
like,
now?
yeah, and like we're both the same, C4, C5. And like it's crazy. Like you can't just go, oh, dude, you broke your C4, C5 vertebrae in your neck. Oh, this is what's gonna happen. No way, dude. They're all different. They're all different animals, dude.
That's a crazy story, man.
Yeah, he's got an awesome story, and he just had a kid and all this. It's rad. It's just, we just never know what's gonna happen. When something like this happens to you.
Yeah. You know what's really, really awesome about another thing that is inspirational about you is like we were talking about going back to the new things that you like, the things that you
Right.
do and the first experiences, and you're bombing down the hill. And then you're surrounding yourself with all the people that gave you that feeling before, like
Yes.
all the
Yes.
people you get to go see that like, and you're hanging out with like the guys who are the most talented at these things as well, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's a whole other level of thing to watch in person than just like your buddies on the weekend.
Right. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
getting to see the top level, but you're getting that feeling of being around the same people that you used to be around that gave you those
Right.
same
A hundred
feelings.
percent. Yes. A
Yeah.
100%. And like I always tell people, like because I've been hurt. It'll be 8 years in May, and there's people, friends of mine, that I haven't seen since I've been hurt. You know, and it's this injury just doesn't affect myself. It affects me, it affects my family, it affects my kids, it affects my siblings. And it even affects your friends, because I've got to the point where I've talked to other friends that took a while, that I didn't see for maybe a year or so after I got hurt, and I was like, hey, what took you so long to come around? And they're like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I just didn't know how to act around you, or I didn't know what to say or do. And I'm like, dude, just be yourself. I'm still me. I'm still the same Russ that was 10 years ago. I'm just not walking. I still have my mind. I still have my jokes. I'm still have, whatever it is that I had. I still have all that stuff. I just can't walk. I just can't freaking move my arms or feed myself. I'm the same guy I was before, dude. It's just, things are a little different. And I get it. You're like, oh shit, man. I don't know, man. How do I act when I go see Russ, or what do I do? But I always tell them, just be yourself still. I'm still that same guy I was freaking, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's probably awkward if they knew you before
Yeah.
going into it. I mean, my mom was a nurse. I grew up around all sorts of different things happening. So, and caregiving stuff. And
Right.
she's just a natural caregiver. I mean, she finds
Right.
people to go help, and that's just who she is.
And
So,
that's rad.
yeah, and she's born for it. Like if there was anybody
Hmm.
born to be a nurse, it was her, like to take
Right.
care of people. She just loves it.
Right.
But so I was if you can say fortunate enough to have those experiences growing up to where something like this is like I know it doesn't change the person, but I can see
Right.
from the other side where if you haven't been around it at all and you know
Uh-huh.
somebody, and it's like, man, this is so like, do I help him up? Do I move? How
Right.
delicate
Yeah.
do I have to be with Russ?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, dude. 100%. People are always like, can I lift your arm up or can I move it? I'm like, yeah, just do it. Do whatever. It's funny because they treat me like I'm a fine piece of china. And I'm like, dude, I'm not. You can just
You are a
do
fine piece
whatever.
of china.
I'm like, shit, man. Just do it, move it, do whatever you gotta do. It's all good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're telling everybody the
Yeah.
dirt track to send it. Did I lose you?
Go.
There
I
you
lose
are.
you.
Yeah, it kind of froze a little bit. You there? No, we don't want to lose him. Let's see if he comes back. Hopefully, he comes back. Russ, we'll stay here. Yeah, I'm back. Okay, we're
Oh,
recording
there we are.
again. I paused it a little.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what happened. Sorry, I don't know if that was on my end or what.
that's the Zoom podcast, man. It just happens sometimes.
Hey, it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Oh, so anyway, I got something pulled up because I thought when I saw it, I was like, dude, this is rad. So uh I'm gonna do something here if I can find my way around this
You
thing.
got it.
It's you shooting the gun.
Oh,
So
dude.
like you're with Wee Man, I'm like, and you're shooting the gun. Let's see if I can. There we go. Share screen. Boom. Share it. Okay, now we're going right here. This is your Instagram
Awesome.
page, and I think this is the first one I saw right here. Of
Yeah.
you're shooting the gun with your mouth right here. I'm like, okay, this is really really sweet. I don't know who made that contraption for you.
Dude. So oh man, it's a company. I want to say they're out of, I think, Indiana. Um, I forget off the top of my head, but dude, they make this gun mount that mounts to my wheelchair, and it's freaking awesome, dude. Like I have control of everything. Before I would go to the gun range, my buddies would just put my hand around the gun and put my finger over the trigger and then put their hand over my hand, and they would pull the trigger for me, And now, dude, I mount this mount on my chair when I get to the gun range, and they put the gun in there, and I got this joystick that I control with my chin, and I can go right, left, up, down, and then when I want to shoot the gun, I fire it by blowing into this tube, dude. It's so freaking rad, and stuff like that is so awesome for me because it's like that gives me my own freedom, makes me feel more freaking independent, and it's freaking rad, dude.
Yeah, because nobody has to help you. You're sitting there and you're
Right,
aiming it, you're pointing it, like it's all you
right.
shooting at that target.
Yes, and then so as soon as I empty a magazine, they'll take the gun out, they'll load up another one, and then I can you know fire away again, and it's so rad, and it's like that's technology these days. It's just like the light switches that I control through my phone. I can come into my room and turn the lights on, and change the channel on my TV and all this stuff. Like, dude, that stuff is so rad, and technology has come so far. I think to myself, like, dude, what would I've done 25 years ago? You know, before we had all this stuff.
Yeah.
I probably would have freaking just been sitting in my chair, bored as hell. I don't know. Who knows? Thank goodness that these people have come up with this stuff. Like it's rad. It makes me be more independent. And me being 45 years old, it's kind of nice to be able to be a little independent.
I'm sure like I mean it feels fantastic. Like when
Right.
that's all we hope for is to be independent. We want the responsibility of being an adult because we
Right.
want to be independent as teenagers, as kids. Like we want to
Hmm.
be on our own and do our own thing. And I don't even like it somebody putting a GPS on my phone or truck, you know, like,
Right, dude.
and so like, you want to be independent. And so I see that. And then I see your comment on that post. You're like, who won lunch? Who hit the bullseye first? Now you're able to talk crap with all your buddies when you go to the
Yeah,
range and you're
yeah,
shooting. You're like, I beat you and I legitimately beat you.
right. Yeah, it's so rad. It's awesome, dude. It's so fun, and it's just, it's like I said, it gives me more independence, and it's rad, not knowing that I don't have to depend on everyone or anyone every time I go somewhere. I know I can go to the gun range and freaking go fire off my gun now, and not need help the whole time. I just need help with someone putting my gun in the holder and loading the magazine.
Yeah, that's so cool. I saw that show my buddy at the gym actually when I first saw. I was like, check this out, man. This is so
That's
cool.
rad.
Like
I
he's
wish I could pull up my video of me skiing.
I probably can.
Freaking that'd
I probably can.
I don't.
Is
You'd
it
have to
on your?
go.
Did you
It's
put it
on
on
my
Insta?
Insta, but dude, you'd have to go way back. This was years ago, dude. I'll send it to you. You could put it in on the podcast, like a link on it when we finish the podcast.
Okay. Okay, that works. Yeah, no, I think I've seen it before. I've seen a clip of it, just a small clip, like tiny one of you
Yeah, it's a
flying
short,
around.
like 20-second clip or something. So
Yeah, it's cool people do that. It's cool people get behind there and like take you down the hills and that like
yeah, I'm like, I'm grateful that there's people out there that want to help people like myself.
yeah, I mean, it definitely takes a special person to want to do that, but to provide that for you and the joy, and this is where it all relates because you provide that same joy for other people with the example that you said of what you do. And like, I was actually going to talk to you about your public speaking, the stuff too, because the impact you can have. I know it sucks to have the injury. Nobody would necessarily want the injury, right? But
Right.
at the same time, without this injury, the you would not have done so much good. Does
No,
that make
100%.
sense?
So I'm glad you said that, because like I tell people when I'm out there speaking, and this what I tell them, people go, what the F are you, like, wow, that's crazy. I tell them, like, people always ask me, like, hey Russ, if you could walk tomorrow, would you? And I tell them, you know what? No, I wouldn't. And reason why I wouldn't is I wouldn't be who I am today without my wheelchair. I wouldn't have met the people I met without getting injured. I wouldn't be as strong as I am. Um, I'm fine with living my life the way I live. I accept it. I accept that this wheelchair is my legs now, and it's rad. I still live a rad life. I still go out and I still have fun. And people go, "Oh man, I'm sorry that you're in that wheelchair." Don't be sorry. Don't feel sorry for me, because I guarantee, bro, I'm probably living a better life than you're living right now. You know, I'm probably out there doing more than you do. And that's the last thing I want. I don't want no one to feel sorry for me. I'm living a good life still. I'm living it up. I'm making the best of every day. You know, I'm doing what I love to do still. And it's my new life, bro. And like I said, I accepted it, and that's what we need to do when we're dealt cards like this. And you could be at your lowest low, but you know what? You're not going to stay there. You're going to bounce back. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might be 6 months or a year from now, but I guarantee it, you're going to bounce back. And when you bounce back, you're bouncing back stronger. You know.
That's the crazy. I mean, and that's you did the ultimate. I mean, you went as far as you can go almost with as far as tragedy and things to overcome, right? But when you overcome something like that, that feeling I've noticed in people and in the things that I've done, like that feeling, it makes you so much stronger. You wouldn't trade any of it. I've
Hmm.
had some things
Yeah.
happen to me and I'm like, and at the time I was like, how can this happen to me? That the like
Right.
I'm stuck in this position. And then those events led me to do things like meet my wife and all. And I'm
Right.
like, I wouldn't trade that. If I had to go out and do it all over again, I would not
Hmm.
change it. And I know that's
Right.
not
You
on the
would change
level
it
of
for the world.
yours. Yeah.
No,
You know,
but
it's not,
but I say that too. I wouldn't change it for the world, dude. You know?
yeah.
No, I don't. You know, I'm not. I don't want to. You know, they're like, well, there's like stem cell out there and all that stuff. I don't want to. I'm not gonna do that, dude. If I was gonna walk again, it would be because it just happened, not because I'm in there trying to put pieces back together in my spine or my neck or whatever. You know, I'm not gonna be a freaking guinea pig for this or that. You know, and that's where acceptance comes in. You know, I've accepted this, dude. I've accepted that I need help every day. I've accepted that I'm paralyzed from the neck down. I've accepted that, you know, this wheelchair takes me wherever I need to go, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I guess that's a true sign of really accepting it is when you would
It
say
is.
something like that. When you would say, and not just say, I wouldn't trade my legs, because that's make believe, right? Like you can't
Right.
go back and do that. But when you say, when somebody proposes an option, hey, we've got this experiment we can try, and you go, no, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
like think about
I'm
that
good.
impact of that statement right there. If I like you're sitting in that chair, and that's how you know when you say I wouldn't trade anything that's happened in my life for
Right.
right now. Like I wouldn't trade for to be able to walk again.
Right.
That you're being honest with it. Because if somebody's come up to you and said,
100%.
let's try this stem cell, let's try this surgery, let's try that, and you go, no, man, you know what? My life's good.
Right. Right. It
That's
is,
it.
you know, and
That's it. Like that's what I think a lot of people, including myself, and I try to remind myself all the time. Like even stuck in traffic yesterday, dude.
yeah.
I'm stuck in traffic. This podcast, I'm like, I lost my chance with Russ. He's gonna be busy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be able to
nah.
do it. Oh man! But then I always step back and think, because of sites like yours. This isn't even just
Yeah.
because of the podcast. It's just the things that you say. I sit there in traffic. I go, man, you know what? I could be that guy that just ran into the pillar. I could
Right.
be something else. Like, and this is out of my control completely. So why would I stress out? You know,
Right.
why would I
Right.
stress
And
out?
that's what I tell people. Like I think I might have posted it today this morning, but like don't let like the stress level that's out of your control run your life. You know, you can't let it freaking ruin your day, ruin your week, ruin whatever. You know, if it's out of your control, there's nothing you can do about it. Let it be. It is what it is, man. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And this, like your situation, a lot of it is completely out of your control, you know?
Right.
Like you have so many things that are out of your control in your life. Like going from
100%.
being like a functioning adult, like what'd you say, 35 when you got 37 when you got
37.
injured?
Yep. Yep.
You know, you're fully functioning, you're doing like everything's in your control that since you're running. Now, even getting up out of bed is not totally in your control.
Right. Right.
Wild to think about it. Like
Yeah.
put yourself in that, like, oh man. And to know that it's never going to be in your control. Like it's not going to be in my
Right.
control again. I have to,
100%.
I have to be in this
100%.
position.
And you know, it's your choice. It's your choice to make. Like, if you're stressing out, and you know, it's your choice to be able to wake up tomorrow and go, "Fuck, you know what? I'm over it. It's done. I'm done." You know, um, or say, "You know what? I'm gonna let this bother me still today." You know, that's your choice. You know, I always tell when I'm speaking at a rehab or something, you know, I tell these guys or gals, like, you guys have the choice to go to sleep today, wake up tomorrow and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna freaking pop this pill. I'm gonna drink this beer or whatever. I I can't go to bed tonight and say, wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? I'm gonna get up and go for a run today. You know, I can't do that. But but what I can say to myself is, you know what? I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna have a bitching day. I'm gonna have a good attitude. I'm gonna stay positive, and I'm gonna freaking grab life by the horns and kick its ass. You know?
So it's I want to pound a table. If I had a big enough table right here, I would pound a table and just be like, I can't agree with you more. Like what you're saying, it's your choice. It's your
Right.
choice. And
Yeah.
accountability is something that seems to be missing in people. And I don't know where the disconnect in raising kids back then versus accountability now, or if I was just raised
Right.
different. But I feel like accountability is such an important asset to have on your team.
Right. Yes.
It really, like, just saying, I have a choice. Like, I'm choosing not to
Yeah.
go to the gym. I'm
Right.
choosing to have a bad attitude. I'm choosing to
Right.
hang around with a bunch of people who are depressed all the time.
Hmm.
You had a choice to lay there in that bed and possibly commit suicide, leading into
Yeah.
depression, going this way,
Yeah.
or you had a choice to go with those dudes from the Thompson Foundation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Triumph. Triumph.
Triumph
Yes.
Foundation, and hang out with them and go better your life. Like, you had a choice to
Right.
do that, and you picked your road. You made your
Right. And
decision, right?
it didn't. I did choose that, but a lot of it came from my family as well. They're like, "Come on, Russ, let's go, dude." And God bless them, and thank God I had them because they kind of pushed me. Let's go to this freaking support group. Let's go to this freaking event or whatever it was. Because a lot of times I'd be, yeah, no, I'm cool. I'll just stay here. Like my sister, man, come on, let's go, dude. I'll take you. All right, fine, let's go. And thank God she did that. She pushed me to do that. And now, since she pushed me, finally, it made me think, okay, you know what? I'm accountable for my actions now. I have to say yes or no that I want to do that or not. I want to say yes or no if I'm gonna stay positive or be negative or smile or whatever.
It's so wild, the lessons that, like, just in you talking right now, the things, they're all cliche, right? You are the sum of the people you hang out with.
Right,
All these things
100%.
go on. But man, think about it, if you didn't have a family, like, in that,
Hmm.
hearing that, if you didn't have a family that
Right,
wasn't so supportive, or friends that were like that would
right,
get you up and take you to these things. Like, if you had the opposite, it would be, they'd feed into your negative outlook on
hmm,
life.
right. And it goes back to like what you said, like like you are who you surround yourself with. I choose to surround myself with you know, positive, happy, fun people. Not every one of my friends are like that, but for the most part, 99% of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, people for who they are, though. I would bet that the people that aren't, like, just all chipper and going because everybody's different, I would bet they have a good heart.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
that just because they're not out chippery, freaking smiling, laughing,
Yeah.
having fun person, they still have a good heart.
That's it. That's it. I mean, that's it. Like, intentions in your heart, and where you're coming from in life, and all that, and your willingness to be friends with somebody else. When
Right,
somebody's just constantly dragging you down, that's the kind of, you're like, how long
right,
can you take that? Where they're just like a weight, where they grab a hold and all they do is take, 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 take,
yep,
take, and they
yeah,
never give you anything back. Like, there's never an
right,
emotional connection back. Eventually, like, you have a choice. You can either go with those sort of people and become them, or you can become the person that's a better friend.
yeah. And there's people that come up to me like, "Oh man, thank you so much for doing what you do," and I I look at myself because I'm not doing nothing, man. I'm not doing anything. I'm being me, and I always tell myself like if I could just uh inspire one person a day, rad, dude, my job's done. But I don't think like what I do is something amazing or something crazy. I just me being me and me like just doing what I do every day.
Yeah, but that makes you the person that people want to hang out with. Like, that makes me, I guess I would say, it's not, I'm not looking at you as like this, oh my gosh, but I'm looking at
Yeah,
you more
no,
like
no.
that's the person that I want to hang around. I want
Right.
to talk to Russ. Like, this right here, this is what I want to do. I want to
That's
soak up
right.
all your knowledge and feeling. like these are the people that I want to bring into my life and
Right.
selfishly to make it better.
Right. No, I got you. I feel you. You know, it is. It's, you know, you want good, positive, you know, inspiring people around you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. And like, so your stuff, you have, what's this? Your clothing line and everything. I see you promote this stuff. Like you've got, it looks like you have sponsors. I don't know if they're fully sponsored. You just like the stuff, but like you've got the Sector 9 stuff you promote all the time on
Yeah.
there and some other stuff.
Those
And
guys, those guys are
and,
rad.
and then you have your own like really cool looking hats and socks and things on the
Right.
website. Is that how like you get most of your support from people buying the stuff off of your website or?
Yeah. It's, you know, I just started it just, you know, off like I would started sell that like my fundraisers and stuff. I do, you know, I try to do like a fundraiser every year, and it just helps me, you know, helps me stay where I'm at, you know, like that way I don't have to go to like some nursing home or something like that. You know, it's nothing like I'm not, you know, nothing that's blowing up or anything. But yeah, no, it's just something for fun. You know, I have a good buddy of mine that, you know, I'll be like, yo, I need a new design, hook something up, you know, and he'll throw up some bitch a new design. I'm like, oh, cool, dude. I'm gonna do that as a shirt now or something, or make that a hat or something, you know.
Yeah, but you, I mean, I know it's a small little thing, but you posted a thing where a dude got your logo tattooed on him.
Yeah, dude, it's rad. You know, I think I'm up to two hands of people that have got my logo tattooed on them. You know, and
For
I'm
real?
honored, dude. Yeah, dude, I'm honored. You know, I'm like, it's cool that people are like, dude, you inspire me, dude. I want to get that. I want to get your logo tattooed on me. You know, and I'm like, "Hey, like, do you mind?" I'm like, hell no, dude, do it if you want it, dude. Rock that shit, dude. That's rad. You know, I'm the one honored that you're doing it. You know,
Yeah,
so
that
yeah,
I mean,
I think I'm up to. Honestly, I think you know I don't know for sure. I think I'm like 8 people have like tattooed that logo onto them. You know, which it's cool, man. I love it.
that is cool. I mean, I know you like tattoos, like you've got several of them and stuff. You
Yeah,
talk about it on your website and whatnot, but like it's and full disclaimer, I listened to your, I think it's your last podcast, one of your podcasts you did, um, and you talked about. I love this when you told the story. It's one of my favorite parts. That getting the tattoo on your head so you could feel it.
yes, yes. Yeah, it's because everyone, I swear, all my buddies, like, oh, Russell, just fuck me. You're a puss, dude. You're getting tattooed and you can't even feel it, dude. It's not fair. I'm like, oh, all right, dude. Like, you guys act like I didn't have any tattoos before I got hurt, but whatever. All right, fine. You know, I'll get a tattoo on my head. And it took me a minute to figure out what I wanted, but I put on my head, roll until the wheels fall off, because that's what I do. You know, I'm gonna roll this chair till the wheels fall off. You know, and I freaking love it, dude. And I got that tattoo, and my buddy's like, my tattoo buddy was there, the guy that does all my tattoos. He's like, man, you took that better than I thought you would. And I'm like, well, thank God it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it was going to. But yeah, no, it's rad, dude. You know, and again, like these guys are all my friends. Like my tattoo guy, I've known since junior high school, dude. I love the guy, you know, and he's, you know, I think ever since I've got hurt, he's tattooed almost every single tattoo on me except for maybe two or three. I've had another buddy of mine do like two or three of my other ones, but my other buddy that tattooed my head has pretty much done all my arms and my legs.
Man,
And
I can just imagine like I love tattoos and I mean I would probably be covered. Like it would be I mean I might not do my face because that's still a
right,
little
right.
weird, but like man, I'd be like, dude, just ink me up everywhere, bro. Let's do
Yeah,
this. Like
all my tattoos, like I like a lot of people do like when you get tattoos, you do themes, you know, like whatever, you know, it could be freaking Disney or freaking, you know, Smurfs or whatever, you know, they do themes. Like all my tattoos are just freaking inspiration sayings that I live by, you know, like freaking strength, believe, freaking, you know, life rolls on, impossible, nothing, shit like that. Like all my tattoos are shit that I say or what has made me who I am.
That's really awesome to hear, because then you can look down at that tattoo and be like, yeah, this is rad.
Yeah, no, exactly. They're all, it's life's too short. Live life, shit like that. Um, Positive, all that shit, dude. It's just all those shit. All it's like all the stuff that I had to be to become who I am right now.
Man, that's awesome. That almost changes your mind. And when you're thinking about going to get a tattoo, like what you like, hey, you better think about this a little longer before you go get this, because I mean, they can mean something. Like you can look at it
No,
and it can
no.
mean something
And
to you.
I know, other people get tattooed pictures and shit like that, and that obviously they mean something to them. But all my shit is just to say like pretty much like sayings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's tattoos are something that they're your own. I always say this, like I have mine, and some people will actually say like, man, I almost forget you have tattoos.
right,
And I'm like, I think when you get them and they're authentically who you are, like as a person, like
right.
deep down inside, they just blend with you. Like
Hmm.
you look at Scummy, who you hang out with
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh yeah.
The crazy thing is, if I look at his Instagram right now, I go there, I'll be like, I don't even, does he have tattoos?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're looking at the dude
Exactly.
as a
Right.
person, and so they kind of blend with his personality, like of just
Yeah.
who he
Yeah.
is.
Well, because usually you're getting shit that you like. So it's like you're getting shit that you love or you like or stuff like that. So it is like they are who you are.
Yeah, I love them for that. I love them because you can make, and if you're not that person, I tell them all the time, don't get them. Just don't get them.
Right.
If you're not that person,
Yeah.
you're
Hundred
going to
percent.
regret that every day you look at it,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. And then if you were like, it's like I think we all have had that tattoo that you go, the fuck is that, dude? You're like, oh, I did that when I was freaking 15.
That's why, hey, I didn't start getting tattooed. I know I went full bore, but like, I didn't start getting tattooed till I was in my mid 30s. So
Good.
I was,
So
I
you
made,
knew what you waned,
but
you know?
the decisions I would have made when I was like 18 to
15,
get a
16,
tattoo.
17, 18. Yeah, dude.
Ah,
Exactly, dude. It's like,
I can
oh
remember
my
what I
God.
wanted and having my brother drawing it on me. And like, now I look at that, go, dude, I'm so happy I do not have that as a tattoo.
Yes, exactly, dude. That's funny.
Oh, man. Well, man, Russ, this has been awesome, dude. Like, I
Dude,
can't tell
thank
you
you.
how fantastic it is to talk to you. You're equally as cool to talk to, like, get to have a conversation with as to listen on a podcast or anything, man. This
No,
has been
thank you. I
fantastic.
appreciate that, man. And thank you for having me on, dude. It's an honor to have you want me be on your podcast. I
Well, thanks.
appreciate it.
And where can people go to support you and to support, like, if you have the brands that sponsor you or your friends or anything, just plug anything
No,
that you want, man.
no, you can follow me, Russ on Wheels. It's Russ_on_ Wheels with a Z. Follow my Insta, and they'll see what I'm up to every day, and who I love to support. I love the sports sector. I love to support bulletproof snacks. I support all these guys. All these guys that support me. I love to support them.
Right on, man. Right on. Well, Russ, thanks for being on.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me, and we'll definitely have to do it again, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Woo. You feel like you succeed as a host whenever Russ, man, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. We'll keep in touch.